The American Revolution was full of unlikely heroes, but few had a journey as fascinating as Fabriczy Mihály Kovats. A Hungarian Hussar, Kovats fought across Europe before making his way to the New World, offering his skills to the Continental Army. As a cavalry officer, he helped train the Pulaski Legion, one of the best cavalry units in Washington's army. His story isn't one of the most well-known, but it's a unique chapter in the fight for American independence, one that ties Hungary and the American Revolution together in an unexpected way. Fabriczy Mihály, later recognized as the father of American cavalry, was born in Charleston, Hungary in 1724 to a family of petty nobility. His military career began in the Habsburg army, where he quickly rose to the rank of Hussar officer. Seeking new opportunities, he joined the Prussian service and was soon promoted to second lieutenant. However, while traveling to Poland, he was forcibly conscripted back into the Habsburg army by Maria Theresia. While serving, he attained the rank of Hussar Major before retiring to northern Hungary in modern-day Slovakia. It was here that Kovats encountered the Polish Free Army, part of the Confederation of Bad, a movement dedicated to liberating Poland from foreign influence. As a staunch supporter of Polish independence, Kovats became a distinguished training officer, helping to organize and professionalize the Polish forces. During this time, he met and mentored a young Casimir Pulaski, who would later become his superior in the American army. Meanwhile, Joseph II, the son of Maria Theresia, was rising to power as co-emperor of the Habsburg Empire. He was widely criticized, particularly among Hungarians like Kovats, who viewed him as incompetent. Thomas Jefferson would later describe Joseph II as a despot. His opposition to Polish independence further alienated Kovats, who had dedicated himself to the Polish cause. When rumors spread that Joseph II planned to re-enlist retired officers for his campaigns against Prussia and the Ottoman Empire, Kovats saw no choice but to leave the Habsburg Empire in search of a new purpose, one that aligned with his unwavering belief in freedom and national independence. If you'd like to know a bit more about Joseph II and his role in the Habsburg Empire, particularly in relation to Hungary, I recommend my series on Hungarian nationalism, especially the first part. Kovats traveled to Bordeaux in France, where he wrote a now famous letter to Benjamin Franklin, then the U.S. ambassador in Paris. Penned in Latin, the letter outlined his prestigious military career and his willingness to fight for American independence. He closed this letter with a powerful declaration, quote, "I am now here, of my own free will, having taken all the horrible hardships and bothers of this journey, and I am willing to sacrifice myself wholly and faithfully, as it is expected of an honest soldier facing the hazards and great dangers of the war, to the detriment of Joseph, and as well for freedom of your great Congress. Most faithful unto death, Michael Kovats de Fabriczy." The phrase "Fidelissimus ad mortem," or in English, "most faithful unto death," would later become the official motto of the American-Hungarian Federation. However, the most controversial part of the letter was his reference to fighting, quote, "to the detriment of Joseph," end quote. While the Americans were no great admirers of Joseph II, they were also attempting to court Habsburg support in their war against Britain. France's queen, Marie Antoinette, was Joseph II's sister and Maria Theresia's daughter, meaning the Americans had to tread carefully in European diplomacy. Franklin never forwarded the letter to Congress. Additionally, George Washington had grown frustrated with the large number of foreign officers, mainly the French, seeking high salaries to enlist in the Continental Army. However, Kovats did not wait for approval. Instead, he immediately set sail for the New World, determined to fight for American independence. Meanwhile, Casimir Pulaski had also fled Poland following the Confederation of Bar's defeat. He made his way to France and then to the U.S., where he joined Washington's forces. At the Battle of Brandywine, Pulaski helped organize a retreat that saved the Continental Army from destruction. and likely saved Washington's life. His heroism earned him a promotion to Brigadier General of the Cavalry, and he was given his own command. However, tensions quickly arose within his new unit. American soldiers resented the Polish officers, who spoke little English, and the cohesion deteriorated fast. Frustrated, Pulaski resigned his command and instead formed an independent cavalry force of his own, called the Pulaski Legion. It was at this point that Kovats joined Pulaski, bringing his experience in cavalry training to the table. He played a key role in shaping the Pulaski Legion into one of the most disciplined cavalry units in the Continental Army. His impact was recognized by General Charles Lee, who was impressed with the regiment's professionalism. Kovats even designed the Pulaski banner, incorporating the red, white, and green tricolor of the Hungarian flag, symbolizing the deep bond between Polish and Hungarian freedom fighters in the American Revolution. The Pulaski Legion soon proved its worth. As the British had recently captured Georgia and were threatening Charleston, Washington deployed the regiment to help defend the city. At the time, Charleston's defenders were considering surrendering to the British. However, the arrival of Pulaski's men, combined with rumors of an approaching 5,000-strong American force, convinced the city defenders to continue resisting. Pulaski's troops, along with Kovats, launched a bold sally against the British, engaging them outside Charleston. The battle ultimately forced the British to withdraw, securing the city and preserving the southern theater for the American Revolution. However, the cost was devastating. Nearly the entire Pulaski Legion was decimated, and Kovats himself was mortally wounded on the battlefield. Some historians have called the Pulaski Legion's charge at Charleston disastrous and pointless, arguing that the British retreat was likely influenced more by the rumored American reinforcements rather than the cavalry's heroic actions. However, despite the tragic loss, the Legion's reputation remained strong. Even their British adversary outside of Charleston, Brigade Major Skelly, acknowledged them as, quote, the best cavalry the rebels ever had, end quote. Pulaski himself would fall just months later, fatally wounded by a cannonball. Neither he nor Kovats received formal recognition for their contributions, and their regiment dissolved into obscurity. For over a century, Kovats' role in the American Revolution remained largely forgotten, until the 20th century, when a revival of interest emerged among Hungarian Americans. Historians rediscovered his letter to Benjamin Franklin, sparking a renewed sense of pride in Hungarian American contributions to the war. Societies, communities, and organizations, most notably the American Hungarian Federation, began to honor Kovats' legacy. The recognition extended to Charleston, South Carolina, home to the Citadel, the military academy of the South. In partnership with Hungarian American groups, the Citadel named its military training field after Kovats, permanently cementing his role in the history of the American Revolution. From the battlefields of Europe to the fight for American independence, Fabriczy Mihály, unwavering dedication to freedom and national sovereignty, made him a true patriot, not only for Hungary, but for all who seek liberty.